until you evolve, until you grow, until you get your shit together, it don't serve me. It don't help me. It hurts me. So because I love me more, you stay wherever you are and you grow and you figure it out. And then if you get to the place where we can evolve and live and grow together, then great. But if not, nah.
But think about it though. But when my bad, hold that for a hot second, right? But people always wonder. Okay, and I don't want to beat a dead. This is a dead horse, right? But people always looked at how in the world could Beyonce take Jay back after Jay, cheated on her, right? But we were all spectators. That's all we were. We didn't have we wasn't part of the inner circle, right? That's where love conquers all. And I know it's double, but that's just truth. Because we don't have the understanding of, cause she's Beyonce, she's beautiful, rich, wealthy. Like she checks off everybody's boxes of like what some women, I won't say all women, aspire to be. And how could she accept somebody that broke her heart back?
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole, that's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
I just happened to know where this was going.
No, well, it is what it is, man. So I'm hitting record, and I hopefully that we all along.
You don't say.
Yeah, Jesus. You know what? I tell you what, because we're not even going to check to see if that we're recording. We're going to give it to God. That's what we're going to do, right? Because this is live. This shit here, this shit right here is live.
Listen, if that be the case, then Demetria, you want to go before Jesus before we get to...
Oh, Father. In the name of Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Bless the Lord.
No. Never mind. If that's how you go enter into Jesus, no, I don't want it. Nope. You didn't enter his gates. Wait, you didn't enter into his gates with thanksgiving in your heart. You did not enter his courts into praise. No, I don't want the prayer. I don't want it because whatever comes behind that, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I take it. I take it and I own it.
Okay, you want to, Karen, you want to do the...
I'm absolutely going to. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, that Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole DK Walker, and our friend, the one that point...
Stop. She, at this point in time, is more than a friend. Because unbeknownst to the podcast, I was hit with heavy news that has saddened my heart. She is no longer...
Your heart. Oh, my
saddened my heart.
Stop.
She is no longer...
Stop the madness.
In the cheese with that wine.
Respect your elders. Can I finish? She is no longer a friend up to the podcast. She's an official family member. So, with that being said, Karen, would you like to tell the listeners why she's an official family member?
Because she called you Mr. Pitchy in her first podcast, and we like her.
Now you want to be an ass. She just want to be a yellow ass. See.
I can't be any other color. I can't be any other color than blue. So since we all know I'm not going to hold my breath anytime soon, I can't say why. Because one, you can't, you're going to end up giving to the universe and Jesus already, first and foremost. She hasn't said yes, so I can't say that. Well, and then
it's a foregone conclusion, right?
It's a foregone conclusion.
It's a foregone, yeah.
I think Father
it's
time
a foregone
has
conclusion. And I am Father Time. So therefore, she's not a friend. She is a family to the podcast. She's podcast family now. So you want to tell the listeners why she's podcast family?
Yes, I will. It has come to DK's plate that
belatedly so. Please continue.
So DK and KK had a conversation about what KK should do with Nine Life. And KK hit him with that. I think I'm going to start my own podcast. He said, "What you should," because DK has another podcast that he does solo called Listen Up, I Have a Story to Tell. So that one will be coming out soon. So he said, yeah, I definitely think you should. I'd be a proud papa. Well, Demetria happened to be a surprise guest to KK today. And so I said, well, while we're all together,
unbeknownst to me that she would be a permanent fixture in our lives. Please continue.
So I said, well, while we're all here, I said, now would be a good time to tell you that, my new podcast.
Who cheating on who, right? Like, who kissed who? Like, keep going, please.
I mean, we always knew I was a cheater. You've already told everybody, hence why I'm on my ball-headed hoe shit all the time. So, anywho, I then brought it to his attention that, that Demetria would be my new co-host on my new show. That is separate from the Love Is podcast because, he always assumes that me and another woman get together. It's male bashing and that he's not going to come over there, which he said he's not. So she is now a family member.
He is not.
Blatant. Yeah. Shady Pines is not bringing his father telling him Shady Pines wisdom to the new show, which is okay.
So does the new show have a title? Actually, I kind of like the title.
But you didn't like it.
I changed my mind. I thought about it, right? Yeah.
He went to Jesus.
Okay. No,
Jesus came to me.
If he went to Jesus like you went to Jesus, then neither one of y'all need to say nothing today. Both y'all need to be on pause. Y'all both need to be.
You can't tell us how we go to Jesus.
Right.
I absolutely can. I absolutely can. The Lord says he loves a cheerful giver. He says,
I was cheerful. I was taking a deep breath.
No, you weren't.
And
listen, we're going to roll back this beautiful.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to talk about what's been in your. That's a great joke.
You're not going to tell her what you told me today?
I'm not, because we want. That was behind the A. I'm not going to talk about
what we were recording and it just didn't stick.
Right. So, in that, I can't talk with sticks in her throat. That's not right.
Okay.
That's her business.
Okay. That's only ball-headed hoe shit. Got it.
I don't think I have the ability to talk and have. I have not.
You haven't mastered that yet?
No, I haven't mastered that yet.
Not a problem. So, but all jokes, y'all so silly. It is just, I don't understand it. Like,
2 turntables to the microphone. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
So before we turn this to a full-fledged giggle fest, all jokes aside, give people the rundown and whatnot, what they can expect from you, your new co-host and your new podcast.
We're going to, the difference between this and the Love Is podcast is.
See, I didn't ask you to give the difference. I just what they can expect, I don't. You
the
can
difference
expect
in
difference
me. Let me.
Greater than greatness.
Right. Because
okay.
DK's not going to be there to pull all the craziness out of me. I have to be very. I'll be DK light over there. But the what to expect is that Mo and I are going to definitely be addressing more female issues and how. We process things, so it's not going to be. There's not going to be any.
Well, of course, it takes one to know one. So.
right.
But see, unlike
me sticking up to pee is not going to be really a factor in that.
Right.
It's going to be the softer side of KK, I guess.
Is that a thing? Is that even possible?
Right. Is there? Yeah. Because there's things that how we process things, how we as women process things. Are going to be
okay. Well, since we are live, right? Let me be.
We have been for almost a year.
Right. Let me go ahead, man up, and say congratulations. That's a good look on y'all behalf and whatnot. And I will listen to your podcast like I listen to ours religiously. But believe it or not, I will be on. Actually, I actually want to be, maybe the 4th or 5th guest on, so to see if how y'all to catch our rhythm and flow. So once I get to going, please have me on, and then so I can cross that off my bucket list.
So you could be the voice of all men. You go put your
No,
Steve Harvey hat
I'm not
on
gonna
today?
pull a Steve Harvey, but depends on
no.
what the topic is going to be that day, right? Because we can't, it's always two sides to every, right? Because every time a woman hollers pain, and she always wants to point to some man being her pain, then I think men and women have to honestly ask, what part did I play? And I think when we listen to a
What's
lot
your
of
version of
podcasts,
it,
people just
Aaron?
they just tell one side. Like everybody plays a part in the tragedy, right?
Okay.
Not only one. Like everybody has a little villain in them. And and as much as I think that, I just want everybody to own up, put your hand up and be like, this isn't the part I played in this tragic moment of my life. And I think once people start doing that more, you'll get to the healing place in yourself much quicker, much better, and you won't fall from it because you'll be able to recognize what part that you played in your previous relationship or your current relationship, and you won't do it again. What happens, people will just be on this self-righteous bullshit and start beating Queen Kong chess without the doggone super support bra, and everything is man this and man that. Like, if men are so bad, then, do without. But we're not going to do that because men love y'all just as much as y'all love us. So instead of us being each other's antagonists, we need to learn to, come together and, kill the issues that 9 times out of 10 is really small. Say again?
To be the protagonist instead of the antagonist.
However, nobody wants to be antagonized unless you into, kinky sex, but I digress.
Right. But no, the thing is, the show is not going to be about male bashing. It's just that women process things differently. So there's going to be talks about forgiveness, about sexuality, about obviously my suicide, Mo's, but obviously the cheating conversation is going to come up for Mo and myself. And that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be an interesting day. To bring that day. I'm gonna give you that day. Gonna be mailbashing.com. Because y'all really ain't gonna be shit that day.
Jesus, I'm gonna call in.
We're not gonna bring you in on that day. But
I'm gonna
those
send
are
a
the
message
type of
pigeon
things.
or something.
Right. Message in a bottle. But I think there's a lot of aspects of life that are not being addressed from women's perspectives. And it's not to necessarily take the man out, but there's just a way that we process. There's just a way that we feel towards certain things. And so that's what we're going to be bringing to the people.
Okay, cool. Not a problem. So, quickly, ladies, bring me up to speed. What's going on in your lives? We'll start with our guest since we're mannerable that way. What's new with you, Mo? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Do you prefer Demetria or do you prefer Mo?
Mo is fine. Actually, everybody in my family calls me Michi Mo, so it either works.
Got you.
Yeah.
Michi Demetria. Got you.
My daddy named me that.
Right, we were both like waiting for him to say something else. Like you could hear the pause. Like, right. But you know what I love? What I love is that he has no comment about that. But me being called KK, boy, he had a whole mouthful about that.
What the hell? What the? Huh? Like, it's one short away. It's 1K. It's 1K short away from KKK. Okay.
And I'm translucent. Yes.
Yeah, right. So I'm trying to help you out. Trying to help you keep your black card, right? Hey, call me KKK. What?
This is not going to be the scene out of was it Django about my wife made these.
Right. No, we're not doing none of that.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I don't listen.
Anyway, you want to let our guest get to how her day was, how it was going on, what's popping with her?
She has very exciting news that she needs to say.
Oh, she does.
I do.
Since she wants textbook at 2:30 in the morning.
Listen, I actually finished the final reads, edits, whatever you want to call it, of Mo's Glass House. So that will be actually going to the wonderful publisher who is going to be helping me today. So that is my amazing news.
Well, congratulations, because people don't understand how hard it is to actually sit in front of your computer, laptop, whatever the case may be, and bring something, thoughts to life. That's really, really, really hard, right? So, big ups to you.
DK, does that mean she gonna make the July deadline?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Kicking and screaming or crying, she's gonna make. She's gonna make that.
Well, it was actually June, but.
Right.
No. When you was last on the show, you told us July.
No, June is still. You said it was June. June. Right. That's still doable, right? Because if you're honestly done and you got everything that you wanted to get out of your book, and the process is really seamless after that. But you have to make sure that the final product that you present to me is what you want to present to the people.
Yes. I am actually
And
officially
thank
done.
you.
Like,
Listen,
it has been emotional trying to do that.
Oh, before you answer, did you receive all that? Because I think you missed. I'm gonna help you. That the final product that you present him is what. Listen, see y'all don't listen. Y'all don't. No.
I heard
You
it.
heard it, but did you listen? Because see, there's a difference. There's a difference in hearing and there's a difference in listening. And I'm trying to help y'all who have listen. I have been working for DK Walker for almost 4 years. Listen, there's some things I know, and I understand what that comment meant. I understood what that hint, wink, wink, and toad meant. So, did you hear what he said, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to help family out because I understand what that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Listen,
I think I need.
Listen, when he said it,
I think I need a
like,
DK. I need a DK interpreter.
Whether they like it or not. Right.
Really? Y'all act like I think I'm a pretty cut and dry guy, right? Like, okay, sometimes I do slur. Right. Okay. Let me help y'all out, right? Sometimes I do slur my words, right? Sometimes I do ramble on. Sometimes I do misspeak. I do a lot of that, right? Mm-hmm. But I speak in layman's terms. You don't need it. And my thing is once you're having your final project, like, so what Karen is alluding to, right? Because like I did her first book for her and patiently waiting on the second book, Shots Fired.
And the third. As I'm waiting for yours.
Hey, everything for everybody.
Get out of jail.
Everything is not.
Then my boy can get out of jail.
Anyway, so with that being said and whatnot, what happens with most authors, I'm ignoring her, right? She's drunk. Anyway, so what happens what happens with most authors is that right. So she's having a relapse, right? So what happens with most authors is this. They'll turn in their manuscript, that the bulk of the book, the manuscript, and then I'll go ahead and beautify it and show them what it's going to look like in book format, and they'll read that, right? And then they'll catch a grammar error or they'll catch a mistake, and they want to do over. And so that's the part that Karen was like, pulling your coattail to us. So you have to make sure you caught everything that you can catch. Now, people fail to realize there's no book that's ever been printed that's without mistakes, including the Bible. Right? Anything that a man touches or man has his hands on, there's going to be a mistake in there. So there's no book in publication that's mistake free. That's factual. I promise you that, right? Even if you've been published by the big publishing houses, even to the most successful self-publisher, right? There's always going to be a mistake. And what happens is first-time authors, they want a perfect, not saying you, Mo, but most, they want a perfect, it doesn't work. Like it's not going to be perfect. And I think some of the better stories are never perfect. The thing is, you just want to tell a great story to, have the audience, literally eating out of the palm of your hands. So therefore you drop your next one, they're eagerly anticipating. It's not so much about perfection. Of course, you don't want glaring mistakes. You don't want that, right? But you can't, chase after perfection because that's a race you'll never win. The aim and the goal is always to tell a great, phenomenal story. No matter how many mistakes you have in that story, as long as that story come across is what happens next, right? As long as you can have them ask that question, what happens next? I promise you, they'll be waiting. The key is not to keep them waiting that long, though, right? So you always got to keep a couple of books in the stash and ready to be launched. So, but anyway, congratulations to you. What you did and are doing is really big in a major way. So, big ups to you.
Thank you.
Not a problem. So with that being said, you have been on the show before and we did ask, during the Mr. Pitchy episode, and that episode right now is in the top 3 of popularity. If y'all not yes, really. That's number 3.
Who listens to our show too, DK?
Who?
Mo's mom.
Are you serious?
Yes. Mo texts me every week to tell me what her mom says. Her mom is super cute. Super dope. Shout out to Mo's mom for listening to us. She always has great things to say about our show. Whether Mo is on or not, she listens. So I think that's pretty dope. Because we are converted somebody mama. We converted somebody mama.
Right. I feel a certain type of way. Right. If I'll go, okay, yeah. I got to go. I have to go celebrate that small win.
Mama.
Right. We did that.
Not like the young mama, like somebody mama.
Right. Which is a good look,
we
right?
talk about,
she got a great grin.
Shit.
Right, like somebody for real mama, not
Right.
like my mama, right? Not like my mama who's like 60, like yeah, man, you still got a little, and you got a little wee way, but somebody real mama, like
Rocks with us.
with some age and some wisdom, listens to our shit faithfully.
Jesus, either we're really
And
good or
sends
she
notes.
just right,
And
right,
sends
right.
notes. And sends notes and love notes to us.
Right. Either we're really good or she just like crazy shit. It's either or. You know what I
Well,
mean?
she
Either
is
or.
Mo's. Well,
I mean,
hold on,
she
she's
is
Mo's
my
mom,
mother.
so right,
She's my
Okay,
mother.
so it's
it
a
had to
little
come from
both.
somewhere.
She
little
is the
both.
actual, my mom is the classier version of myself, but she has like, there's me and then there's my mom. Like there's, all of that is still real. So she can literally articulate an argument and cuss you out without actually using a cuss word and make you feel like, did she just come for me? That's my mama.
Yeah, I like your mama already. I promise you. You know what I mean? So Mo's mama, when you do hear this, you definitely have a fan here. Thank you so much.
Well, now she's family too. We gotta take all of them.
That right. So we taking the whole Mo clan.
We're taking the whole Mo. Yeah, we're taking the whole Mo clan.
The whole Mo clan in. Matter of fact, that's the name of the podcast right there.
The whole Mo clan.
The whole Mo clan. The whole.
Oh God!
Hey, don't say that too close together, right?
Right. That's what I was like.
Wait. Listen, that's a wade in the water.
Right. So we got to make sure some apostrophes are used in there, right?
Right.
Like,
big spaces. I'm gonna put big spaces. Right.
Big spaces.
Big spaces. Tab. I'm just gonna tab. Right. It's all gonna be staggered.
Yeah, don't. Next thing you know, we have a whole
on the
community.
same line this week. Yeah, this week you on the same line. No, it's gonna.
You have a whole community coming for us. But with that,
and I don't. No, we don't want the letters. No, the letters.
Hush, with your scared ass. Hush. We're gonna get around to having a conversation about the Alphabet Boys, and I ain't talking about the FBI. So we'll get around to having that conversation. Yeah, well, I don't mess with the CIA. They have no root.
Or the IRS. Well, hopefully,
shit! That's what I'm really scared of.
The IRS. Listen, hopefully, you fuck with the IRS and pay the taxes.
Like I'm gonna go ahead. I deal with the mother too, but the IRS, they gangster forever. They don't care who you is. What you get to run that. But with that being said, Mo, you have been on the podcast before, and we know that we asked you this question before. But before we get into the meat potatoes of the podcast, we're going to ask you again, just in case that it has changed. Could you please, because this is called the Love Is Podcast, could you please define what love is to you?
No, it has not changed, but I also don't remember what I said. So,
she about to freestyle. That shit funny.
Listen, pass your head.
Love to me is understanding. It's patient. It's
Are you
friendship.
quoting the Bible? I'm just curious.
No,
Right.
No,
sure?
I believe that love is friendship. I believe that in order to be in a healthy relationship, you have to be friends with your partner. And so if you don't have a friendship, then I don't see how real love can actually grow. So that would be my definition of love today, is just a solid friendship, being able to fight with your mate, being able to make up and talk about, just all the things, bullshit, real stuff. Like it doesn't matter. I feel like that's what love is.
Okay, cool. And let me ask you a quick question before we get off this. How do you, because people have this standard of love, but the question is, do you hold yourself to that standard?
Absolutely. I always hold myself accountable for anything. I am one of those. My god sister actually told me this the other day. She was like, "You're a common denominator person." I said, "Oh, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely." Because who is the common denominator in whatever situation that you go in? If I'm the common denominator and there's a problem, well, I got to look at myself. I can't blame nobody else.
Well said. Right? Cool. Well, that's a good look at one. And I definitely love your definition and your interpretation of love. So, Karen, with that being said, do you have any bald-headed hoe awards you want to give away? Or do you have any what the fuck news that is being dyed to be told?
No.
See, there you go. You're disappointing the ratchet people to listen to the podcast, girl.
I'm not. But when we have a guest, we never do that. I gotta
ask. You know.
You gotta ask.
You didn't
ask for my update. You didn't ask me about me, but I see you in your feelings today. But it's okay.
KK, what's going on in your world?
Oh, thank you.
We not even, honestly, I don't care, right? As long as my guy's doing good, I can give a rat's ass.
There was a lot that happened to your guy and your guy A.
Okay. All right. You want to keep it brief?
Yeah. My guy got attacked by the neighbor dog last week. I had to come to the ER where his aunt works, and we are dealing with that situation. And then my guy A just turned 3 on Tuesday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy belated. That's what's up.
Yep. So his Gigi made sure to, spoil him a little bit. I got him a phone, which he was extremely excited about.
Wait. You got the 3-year-old $1
from the dollar store. Calm it down.
Okay.
It looks like an iPhone. He's none the wiser. He was holding it sideways, talking about Gigi. I'm playing a game. I said, you do whatever you want to. Then tells me yesterday, Gigi, I lost my phone. I said, see, this is why I bought you a phone from the dollar store, because these are things I'm not worried about. Right. I told my daughter, I said, just so you're aware, I said, that's a dollar store phone, honey. You can go right back to the dollar store, buy your house that's right by the big lots, and go buy him about 5 of them. Because she said he had it in the car, and she's like, he must have thrown it, not threw it, but he dropped it, and it
he
slid
threw it. Don't clean it up. Don't clean it up.
He might have. She said he was in the car, and she's like, I heard it him. She's like, I don't want to say he threw it, is what she said. She's like, but it was it must have been in his hand, and he dropped it. He went to put it on the seat, and she broke kind of hard, so it kind of just slipped out of his hand.
You such a nice GG. Stop it. You know he threw it. He didn't no. When
that nigga mad, he throws it. Now, does he know not to throw at my house? Absolutely. Does he know not to throw things at me? Absolutely. Now, what he did with his mama is his mama's business. However, if I'm there and I see it, I still would be like, do you want me to spank your ass? I told him the other day, I said, I saw him yesterday, and I said, Landon, I said, if you do that again, I said, Gigi's going to take your diaper off and spank your natural booty. No, Gigi, I don't want to spank you. I don't want to spank you. And he's got his hand up. No, Gigi, I don't want to spank you. It hurts. It's supposed to hurt, sir. And he's walking around holding his butt. Right. That's what he says. It hurts. It hurts, Gigi. It hurts. I said, it's supposed to hurt. And then he's holding his butt.
This is terrible.
Oh, yeah. He's as translucent as I am. So, if I get him, he going to feel it.
I guess he need to pick up his feelings.
All the time. He gonna be stuck with his paw today, so he really gonna be in his feelings. He gonna call me 102 times. Talk about, Gigi, are you coming? No, I'm not. You can come over here if you want to. You can have him drop you off. We'll pick you back up. But no, I'm not coming over there.
Okay, cool. Since nobody asked how I'm doing and how what's going on with me,
we know you and your feelings.
I'm just sure.
Come on, Drake. Come on, Drake. Come on.
The knife in my back is kind of deep, right? I am bleeding profusely. Yeah, I'm bleeding. I'm on my cycle, okay? If you must know, that's how heavy I'm bleeding, okay? Nah, all jokes aside,
is it the first day?
Yesterday I did.
Cash app you? You want me to cash app you for the always pads?
Please. I need to
make sure to get the ones with the wings. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, because they fly. Anyway, look. So yesterday I did take the shot. I took the first shot, right? So I was waiting for, the side effects to kick in. I kept looking at my drawers and it didn't get bigger. So,
What? That is not understand how.
That's not a side effect?
No. Maybe if you got the Johnson & Johnson. Listen, maybe if you got the Johnson & Johnson one, but not if you got Pfizer or Moderna.
Yeah.
So I got to go get the Johnson. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure my second shot is the Johnson & Johnson.
No,
so maybe that'll be the side effect.
You cannot do that, sir. You cannot do that.
See what? Listen, you gotta listen. You gotta listen to the names of these. Pfizer, it's gonna make it a little smarter. Johnson & Johnson, hint, hint, wink, wink. See how that worked out?
Okay. Now I know. Now I can start looking at my drawers.
It's a one-hit
right. One hit a quitter.
Right. One hit a
quitter. So I can stop looking to see. Okay, just stuck with the.
Had you got the Johnson & Johnson when you wouldn't have had to look, you would have felt it.
Right. Okay.
Your walk would have been a little different. You would have walked out.
That's
You would have
right.
walked out. Listen, you would have walked out like I would have walked out. Walked out how I walked out. You had to readjust yourself, right? You had to you had to do a little shimmy and readjust yourself without readjusting yourself.
Like,
right.
damn.
Right.
Okay.
When you can't touch it in public, you got to readjust yourself where you can't touch it in public because it looks weird.
Right. This is true.
Right.
So, but all jokes aside, I did take the first shot. I don't feel no type of way, right? Why?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a good question. Why did I take the first shot? Ew, that's a great fucking question. So I got, I want to see my mom, right? I do want to be able to pick her up and bring her here. Precautionary reasons, right? So if I kill over and die because of it, it is what it is. But if I don't and able to help stop, I sound like a fucking infomercial. I mean, I want to. I do.
He clearly got the Pfizer one. He clearly
I did, right? I mean, because they don't even offer. Like, I don't know how you go from genius. I don't know how you go from genius to smart. I don't understand how that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, take your title away.
You said smarter,
Mr.
so
genius.
Right.
I did,
Thank
sorry.
you. Right.
He clearly got the Pfizer one because his whole his dentist for marketing came out.
About who?
Dentist for marketing.
I don't know what that means.
That's okay. Keep going with your.
See,
with your pre-program.
When you tell
with your
a joke,
pre-program, right? With your pre-program, that's the part of the shot. They give you your pre-programmed, response. Go ahead, finish it.
Exactly. So. No, I'm done. I got it. You know what I mean? Because like, I want to see my mom on a regular, that's, and do my part if my part is to be done. Right. I know some people, are whatever, but I decided to cast my hat. And, I guess we will use me as the guinea pig for the podcast. So if I kill over and die, then the man got me. But if I stay to live, then the man didn't get me. So, that's it in a nutshell.
If your Bob from marketing voice comes back out, no, they got you, boo. They clearly got you.
Oh, she's so funny. I am counting down the days you can get the hell away. I'm counting down the days you can get the hell away. Oh, I'm sorry.
And he sings.
And I sing.
Listen, but he wasn't pitchy. Listen, he wasn't pitchy.
Not.
He was on tune. We didn't have to get a fork for him.
Yes.
Right. And on beat.
Right. That's one of the side effects. I didn't get I didn't get my right. I didn't get the desired side effects. Right. To go from 3.5 to full 4. I didn't get that. Right. But I got, I can hold a tune now.
Are we talking about your height?
I wish.
I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit a 6'4" baller. Okay.
Right. You want to get to the meat? We've been 30 minutes in with the shits and giggles, man. Can we get to the meat?
This is not me. You've been running the show, sir. I just took a back seat and
who? You take a back seat to who? Girl, stop.
Listen. Every now and then, you want to experience what driving Miss Daisy looks like. Now I see. Do I like it? No. Not about 10 out of 10. Not recommended.
Okay,
DK hits the speed bumps a little harder than necessary.
Nah, sometimes shock value. You got to go with the shock value. But anyway, you want to segue us into, why the people tune in. Of course, they do tune into for the shits and giggles, right? Because we shit and giggle with the best of them, right? But we do pride ourselves on giving, meaningful content. So that being said.
All right. Shout out to Mo's mom. Okay. So I have a thought that we're going to discuss. So Mo, listen, DK, you've already heard it. But I'm going to remind you. Your Shady Pines is going to kick in at any moment. Stop marrying and committing your lives to people just based on love and love alone. You'll lose every time. Respect is more important. Fidelity is more important. Finances are important. Spiritual growth is important.
Wow.
There's more to a quote unquote marriage because, you marry your ideals. You're married to, companies and things like that than love.
That's interesting. So I'm a gentleman, although on the podcast I would believe that I'm not. I'm gonna take a back seat and I'm gonna let
your name is the Lovable Asshole. Yeah. When did gentlemen come?
Right. We're gonna let our guest tackle that first, and then we'll let my co-host have her stab at it, and I will round us out. So please, Mo, what's your take?
I agree with everything that's in that statement. I say that because marriage is about give and take. Can love save and conquer all? Yeah, that's what the Bible says. I mean, I'm just not going, that's just what it says. But in order for you to have an effective marriage, in my belief and how I stand, is you have to have all of the things. You have to have more than just love, because love is not going to be able to pay your bills. Love is not going to be able, like, if you're growing and the other person is not, then it's lopsided.
Facts.
Spiritual growth, it really kind of, in that area, I think it kind of depends on the couple. If you all believe in the same thing, then yes, you want to grow together. You don't want to grow apart. And so I think all of those things and all of those statements are actual. I think it's factual. And that's just, I mean, because when you think about it, being divorced twice,
Join the club.
I thought going into my second marriage, if I loved him enough, it would work. Clearly, it did not. Hence, I'm divorced.
Okay. Right. So, but I think, so my definition of love is just a misunderstanding between two people, right? And so, and I know I'm supposed to be bringing up the rear, batting, clean up, whatever the case may be. I just want to touch upon what you said about that. I think, that's hard, right? Because on one hand, love will get you through some things that outsiders will see, like, okay, so like whatever the reason for the breakup, like, okay, let's give the typical scenario. He cheated, right? And then from the outside looking in, right? We'll be like, she was right to do whatever she did because he did what he did, right? But we don't know that other side, right? Because like I said earlier, before we started recording, even the victim in a relationship played a hand at victimizing. It may be a small hand, but there was a hand that was played nonetheless, right? So as quick as we're always talking about, well, he did A, B, C, D. Let's keep in mind, ladies, that and the men that will be listening, that whomever does what to you, if you allow them to have that type of behavior, you're just as guilty, as them for you, because you allowed them to do that, right? Because before somebody step out, before they do whatever, there's humongous handwriting on the wall, right? And then if we just choose to, turn a blind eye to that, then we're just as much as fault as the person that's doing it, right? So we need to, elevate our self-worth at that time. If put like this, like, God is in your gut. And once your gut start talking to you and you choose to ignore your gut, and then what comes after that, don't be mad at nobody but yourself. So I do believe say again?
Go ahead.
No. So I do believe, all those things that, Karen read earlier is great factors. But at the end, that would always save the day, would make sense to the people or the parties involved outside of the outside world is love, right? Because it takes a strong amount of love to forgive a person that has cheated on you, that has tried to break you, that has done everything in their power to just turn your world upside down. And even if you love them and yourself even more so, to walk away, right? I do believe that love conquers all, but you have to know how to use that love, if you want to conquer all.
Facts. What I was saying, DK, was God being your gut. I think that's just gas on your part. I know that God is somewhere inside of you, but I don't know if
that's
he's
so
necessarily
funny that you're gonna call my heavenly Father gassy. How disrespectful!
I mean, I know he resides. Listen, I know he resides.
He resides in the temple. The temple's the body. Let's not get that twisted.
But
all you people
gut.
go to church and y'all think that you're going to the house of God. No, you brought the house of God to a building. Let's keep it a buck, okay?
Right.
All right. Let's keep it a buck. And for you to say that it's gas, I don't think God is a pinto bean.
You
all right?
said God. When you
I don't think God is a black bean in my nachos.
That is the beans. That is the beans. That is the fiber that they feed you at Shady Pine. So that was just mine.
I put it like this. However, because I've been on, right? Like, let's keep it a buck. I didn't been on so many sides of that relationship, right? Whereas I was that, because this too, I've been divorced twice. This is my third marriage, right? I've been on, G-Mo Nelly. I was the absolute positive worst of the worst. When I tell you I was a piece of shit, man, I was special. I was a piece of shit with corn in it, right? But me being that person allows me to be this person. Like, I understand that, even when me and my wife don't see eye to eye, like that's not the cause for me to step outside of my marriage, right? Even when, she gets on my last damn nerves, that's still not the cause for me to step outside of my marriage. It took a level of maturity on my behalf, to better, worse, thick and thin, even when I felt that the support wasn't there, the respect wasn't there. No matter what I felt that wasn't there, it still didn't give me a green light to go do anything but be the best version of me I could be at this current time. Now, that didn't happen overnight, right? It took me being a fuck up. It took me being a piece of shit. It took me being, a fucking bottom feeder. Like, let's keep it a buck out. When I tell you I was terrible, right? But I just had to grow up, and I have to ask myself every time, right? Every time I step outside that door, and no matter how many fat asses I see, yeah, I promise you got to ask, is it worth it? Like, is it? And then, if you got to think about it, then it's not worth it, right? So I'm an old man now. I just look and smile like, somebody having fun. That's all I do now. Look, smile, somebody having fun. That's it. Cause it's not worth it. Cause I bring in pain to her, it's not worth it. And then more, even on top of that, I can't afford to have my daughter look at me in a different light.
But so that's a choice though, DK.
Oh, for sure.
To me, if you have love and love conquers everything, it has to come from both sides. If the other individual does not have the same type of love that you give, or you have, or you're willing to put into a relationship, a marriage, or whatever the case may be, then how is it going to work? Because people in the parties involved have to be on the same type of commitment level. They have to, in order for love to conquer all.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So this is what happens, right? Please, I don't mean to hog the mic. Please forgive me, Karen, right? But Benz, though, you kicking me to the curb. It's all right. Because you got your own thing going coming soon, right? You do. Look, but this is the thing, though. You'll never at one point in time, you'll never at any point in time be equal in love anyway. It's almost impossible, right? Because you'll be loving this person at, say, 100%, and they only giving you 70. And then some days they may be giving you 100, you may be giving them 50, right? And so since it's never equal, you got to weather that storm and realize why you signed up in the first place. And what happens is a couple of tricks. The trick is you don't want that unevenness to go for a very long time. That's the first rule, right? And then the second rule is you always got to be working harder to get close to 100, matching that intensity, because outside of being in a relationship, people have lives, and there's other things that goes on that affect you, which affects your mate. And so you just hope that the interaction that you have, will sustain you, far as that they're keeping it, honest with you through the good and the bad times, right? And not be looking for an out. And I think that's what happened with a lot of people. They think when they get a string of bad days together, then they think that it automatically gives them an out, right? They like, okay, I got permission because she keep telling me no. I got permission because she keep doing ABC. I got permission because no, you don't got permission until you tell her, look, I'm tired of your shit. And that doggone chick at the corner store keeps smiling at me. All right, now what you want to do?
God, listen, I thought you just said you had just learned that you can't trust the big button and smile, and now you're talking about the corner. Now you're talking about the chick at the corner store. Like,
I'm saying, man, chicks that work at 7-Eleven got benefits. Don't judge me. Look, but what I'm saying is, in your words, before you make that decision for you and her, you have to have that conversation to let her know, like, look, I'm skating on thin ice. What you gonna do? And then, because it has to come to a head sooner or later, right? You got to have that conversation to let a person know where you stand at. Like, cause they may run 100 days strong of giving you just enough to keep you coming home every day. Right. And so say for 50 days straight, on the 49th day, you like, look, I can't take no more. Right. Cause this bullshit got to stop. And so once you sit down and have that conversation, and then they still act in other end, then whatever comes from that then comes from that. But at least you was man or woman enough to bring this to their attention. Now, does that make it right or wrong? Nah, but we had a conversation and you still acting like, you shitting me.
I mean, what you're both saying is great. It sounds good, but I'm going to be DK today. Yeah, because here's the but. The thing is this, yes, the Bible says that love conquers all. Love is an energy. But the love comes from God and then starts with me in a relationship. So what I put out is what I should get back. And when I don't, because here's the truth of it is, the truth of it is love isn't always enough. Hence why people are divorced. Hence why I can love you and not be in any form of relationship with you. you can be on your side of the equator and I can be on mine. And it's not a lack of love, but it's not enough for me to be fucking with you, period. So my thing is, yes, love conquers all. It does, because I have to get to the place where I love me enough to know that whatever you got going on with you, until you evolve, until you grow, until you get your shit together, it don't serve me. It don't help me. It hurts me. So because I love me more, you stay wherever you are and you grow and you figure it out. And then if you get to the place where we can evolve and live and grow together, then great. But if not, nah.
But think about it though. But when my bad, hold that for a hot second, right? But people always wonder, and I don't want to beat this is a dead horse, right? But people always looked at how in the world could Beyonce take Jay back after Jay, cheated on her, right? But we were all spectators. That's all we were. We didn't have we wasn't part of the inner circle, right? That's where love conquers all. And I know it's double, but that's just truth. Because we don't have the understanding of, cause she's Beyonce, she's beautiful, rich, wealthy. Like she checks off everybody's boxes of like what some women, I won't say all women, aspire to be. And how could she accept somebody that broke her heart back? And so it took, I'm assuming, because once again, I'm not on the inner circle, you know what I mean? But I'm assuming that it took her just like, is his moment in being, a cheater worth, what we've built, and can I come back from this? Like, and you have to ask yourself, are you the type that's built to stand for that? If one time is too many for you, then you just a one time, and okay, cool. But then again, you can't let outside people force you to be like, because people gonna think I'm weak, because people gonna think I'm soft. No, if love, right, which conquers all, is worth fighting for, then you gotta fight for it, even when your significant other has stepped outside of love, if and only if they're worth it. But you got to, regardless of what the outside people are telling you what you should do, whether it be your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your uncle, your auntie, and them, you got to ask yourself, are they worth it? And like, not putting all my business on Front Street, because my wife is in her office and she has no problem coming around the corner, pulling the plug ASAP, right? Like we was in some dark places.
Stuff off your desk.
Yeah, well, you already know, right? If you listen to past podcast, I'm being abused here. Somebody sent help, but anyway, not putting all my business on Front Street. We had reached some really dark times between me and the missus, right? Like early on in the relationship, like the first 2 years out, things was just like, there was no way that we should still be together today, knowing, the hurt and pain that we cause one another, right? But I got tired of, the emotional roller coaster of stopping. And I had to tell myself, well, you got to fully commit. No matter how much this hurts, right? You got to fully commit. And I'm not talking about infidelity, right? But it was a lot of, disrespect on both of our parts. There was a lot of misunderstandings on both of our parts. But I had to stop using those as an excuse to like walk away, right? If I would have walked away in the first 2 years of our relationship, there would be no mama, right? There would not be me being the most successful version of me in my life if I would have chose to walk away. And I think what happens, people be like, they want to charge it up to the game because a person did what they believe was the unforgivable and not realizing, pardon me, that, first of all, that person is human. And are we looking at somebody that's habitual in their actions, or can we work around this, right? And they got this stupid ass saying out like, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not true. Right? Like people are made to make mistakes. What happens is we hold each other up to God's standards, and we're not God, right? We hold each other to standards that's not fallible. Like, you can't do this. You can't. Everybody's capable of doing whatever, whenever the opportunity arises, right? But are they worth working it out now? If you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and if you don't even have to know, but if you think that they're going left again, by all means, leave. But if they're not, if they're doing everything in their power to come back to earn, good graces in your heart, then, if you truly love them, right? That's when I say love conquers all, because love has to be able to conquer the hurt, the pain, the cheating, in order for you to even give it a fighting chance. And a lot of us don't want to do that because because if you do it again, like, you don't know they're going to do it again. You don't even know why they did that. But that's why they did what they did. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But that's why the rest of it's important. That it says respect, fidelity, finances, and spiritual growth are important. Fidelity is not necessarily a love trait or even a love language. Fidelity is a character trait. Because the thing is this, if you can't be faithful in a relationship that is, as far as like marriage and dating, you can't be faithful in shit. And that's just the facts. You're not faithful in anything, because the thing about fidelity, or infidelity rather. Infidelity is the fact that I saw something or I thought that this would satisfy me, not us as a group, not us as a couple. It was a me thing. So fidelity is a character trait. Because if you can't be faithful to yourself or to the confines of your relationships, you're not going to be faithful in anything. So I'm not sure what, the conversation was between Beyonce and Jay-Z. Because for all we know, Beyonce was cheating too. We don't know what goes on at their house. We don't know. Right. We don't know what goes on behind their closed doors or any relationship for that matter, whether it's J-Lo and ARod, J-Lo and whomever, Hallie Berry and whoever. Because we look at these relationships as, these are the most beautiful people in the world with the X amount of money. And they can't be happy in relationships. And then we start basing that on us. And it's like, no, you can't do that because you don't know the whole shebang. And the same thing for even our friends. Like, unless we put all of our shit on the table, unless we air it all out, we don't know how we get to certain places. Again, do I believe that love conquers all? Yes, but there has to be more than love. There has to be respect there. There has to be a conversation that says, these are my non-negotiables. These are my negotiables. But at the end of the day, will my love? But the thing about it is, I feel like this is where my hang up is that yes, love conquers all. However, do not test my love because one day it's not going to be enough. I'm going to get sick and tired of your shit, depending on what it is, and say, I'm done.
See, and I'm so sorry, Mo. I'm gonna definitely let you get in here, right? But look, so that to me, by you saying what you just said, then you can't say that love conquers all because it comes with a caveat, right? Love conquers all from what you just said to a degree. When you say love conquers all, there is like love conquers. Like when you say all, it's not all up until a point. It's all period.
I don't think that's how we all live. I don't think that's how we all live. Because the thing is this, if we're not in a relationship, because my thing is this, if love conquered all, then why aren't certain people together then still? Why did they get a divorce? Why did you get what I'm saying?
And that goes back, my bad for cleaning up, but that goes back to my definition of love, right? Love is a misunderstanding between two people, right? There's no way possible when me and my wife first started, right? And I want to speak from a personal experience. I don't want to speak on nobody else, right? Because I wasn't privy to J and B, right? I was Team J all day anyway, in regards to my man, whatever. Look, so I'm not privy to ARod and J-Lo, right? I'm siding with ARod anyway. That's my man.
But I don't fucking
need him. Take him out the hood. Right, and all that good shit, right? But I'm gonna talk about me and my experience, right? So it had to come a point in time that you just had to stand before whomever you chose the forever after with in full nudity. And I'm not talking being naked. You got to stand before them so they can judge every aspect of you and realize, do they want to go to war with you? So people understand when you in a committed long-term relationship where you in a marriage, that is the most hardest job you will ever have in your life. People think that's cute. You got married, you did it really big up in the islands. You did it really, had all your friends and family there. Like that shit's cute. But the hardest job, cause think about even not even in marriage, if you're in a committed relationship, everything that you do affects your mate, either positively or negatively, right? Everything that you do affects your mate. So you're no longer thinking for yourself. You're thinking for both of y'all as a unit. And so when doing so, love has to pull you back when all else fails, right? Like that whole list that you named, like far as integrity, that's going to fail at some point in time. Whatever else, that's going to fail. That's going to fail. But, right. All that shit's going to fail at a point in time. And that's when love got to be like, you know what? Although that person failed in this area, I love them enough for the bounce back. I love them enough for the comeback, right? So my thing is that person has to be honest with themselves to be like, I'm not built that way, and be good with their decisions, right? And like, okay, cool. So that's why some will say love don't conquer all, because there's a point that you can't cross with me. I don't give a fuck about love. Love is not going to save you if you cheat on me. Love is not going to save you if you are here, disrespecting me, right? So you can't say love. Those type people can't say love conquers all, because it doesn't. Because love, when you really love somebody, and let me slow down. I'm not saying emphatically don't be a sucker, because some fool gonna listen to this and then he gonna walk home and the mailman gonna be dick deep into his baby mama, and then he gonna listen to the podcast talking about right. No, my guy, don't do that. If you walk in and she yelling his name louder than she ever whispered your name, Slim, leave. You can't do nothing with that, right? It's too much dick in her life. Ain't nothing you can do to save that.
Right,
let that go.
Johnson.
Right. You should go be like me. Go get that Johnson & Johnson shot. Look, and pray for the better. So with that being said, like, but if that's not the case, then you guys to be all in. And I think what's wrong with people today, I think people are so scared of going all in because of past trauma and past hurt, and they don't want to go through that. And the scariest thing to do is to be vulnerable to somebody that can hurt you just with words, that can hurt you with actions. Like you get real tense. You don't want to give nobody that power. And to me, let me go ahead and add on that definitely love. Like, it's not only a misunderstanding between two people, it's actually giving somebody total power over you because you're transparent before them and they know everything about you.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in on that. Okay,
Please.
but it is a decision between two people. If you have somebody who is not willing to go to war with you, then you have a problem. Because just like in the army, the military, anytime you go to war, you gotta have somebody that has your back, because
Facts.
You can't see everything that's coming behind you. So when you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage, you have to know the person who you are with is going to have your back, who's going to get in the trenches with you, get gutter and dirty when the shit gets bad. But if you don't know that because you, A, haven't had a conversation, B, you don't respect the relationship and or the person that you're with, then you're going to create problems. And love can do all of that. Love can be blind. I was blinded by love my second relationship, my second marriage. I thought, oh my God, we could just do it. We can make it. We can this, we can that. And then the shit hit the fan. I was willing to get in the ring, but he was not. So I can love him enough to actually say, I can make this work. I can get over the cheating. I can actually try to, push this because I love him that much. But if it's not reciprocated, then why do I want that type of love? Because to me, that's not love.
Facts. I wholeheartedly agree. And see, bringing it back to love conquers all. You love your... You love yourself enough to recognize that his love was not enough to substantiate your love. And once again, it goes back to, and that's another thing too, right? And thank you for pulling that out, right? Not a problem. I appreciate you for that. You got to be able to make that doggone determination that, you don't have enough love for me. And because I have enough love for myself, then love still conquers all. Because at the end of the day, I got to take care of me, my needs, my wants, and my happiness. And you have clearly showed me that your love is not willing to fight and match with my love to help my love grow. So I need to, cast your love off, because that shit you giving me ain't love. Love still conquers all. Yeah, let me go and put a caveat on that, right? My love conquers all, because it's going to discern who the fuck I'm dealing with. Right? Because if you keep serving me up bullshit, right? Okay. And it's like, this is what I do. I don't pay attention to the big things, right? I don't pay attention to anniversaries, birthdays. Like, that shit is like, okay, so it's whatever. It's the everyday small things that let me know that, are you really worth fucking with? Like, when I don't feel well, are you being, compassionate from like, okay, let me leave him alone today. Let me take care of my baby today, right? Or you still got that honeydew list out, still barking my name, and you look, I'm tired as hell, right? And I'm looking at you like, really? You don't see like I'm 5 steps from death and you want to, I gotta go cut the grass? Fuck no, right? Like, you can pay attention to the small things that a person does in your life, and that will let you know volumes about them. But if a person is not paying attention to small things, they're still demanding, still asking, not really truly caring how you feeling, what's going on with you on a day-to-day. And I'm not talking about like the built-in holidays, Valentine's Day, and I'm not talking about that dumb shit there when you're supposed to, all that shit for like economics anyway, right? But when I'm talking about living with a person, being intertwined, interacting with a person day-to-day, and you see how they treat you, and if it levels up, if it equals up to, building love within you, so when shit really gets funky, you like, okay, cool, but I know that they're there for me day-to-day. And since they are there for me day-to-day, that I can do life to life with them.
Thanks. The thing is, though, too, that to piggyback off what Mo said, though, is I think the hard part of love is knowing when to let go. Sometimes, because we have been taught that love conquers all, that we have to
When she
sacrifice
got too much dick in
ourselves.
the back and I came home and caught her cheating, that's when you let go. I'm sorry. That's
That
it out
we
loud.
have
I'm sorry.
to, that you didn't think that in your head. See, this is why you have to stay at Shady Pines. No more weekend passes. That a part of love is honestly knowing when to let go, because you have to love you more than you love the thought of love. Like sometimes I feel like
Facts.
because we've been
A
taught
billion.
that love
Right.
conquers all, that we fall in love with love, and then when love
sure.
hurts
I'm a
us,
sucker.
we don't know how. Right, we become a
Next
sucker
tattoo.
for it, and then we don't know how to unravel ourselves. So my thing is, I can love you, but sometimes in loving you, I got to let you go, because where I am spiritually, or where I am respectfully, or where I am in my love, or where I am in life, we don't match. And until we can match again, or if at all, I can't. Is that Rocco?
Yeah, man. Lord have mercy.
Rocco going off today.
Jesus. Yeah,
But
we're not even going to edit this out. We've been getting today. Y'all hold
Rocco
for
staying. Rocco staying. Rocco is my
Like, I
dude.
cannot stand my damn dog. I promise you
He
I can't.
hates the dog, and I love Rocco. Rocco comes in at the best point. But the thing
He
is,
don't.
there's the part
Fucking
about
nuts.
love is that you have to learn when to let go. And I think that, because here's how I feel this way, is that because I've been a Bible thumper my whole life, going to church, and I feel like there were marriages and people who stayed in relationships that were toxic,
should not
and were
have.
horrible, that should not have, because we were taught love conquers all. No, but there's a part of love that says, I gotta let you go because I love me more than I love you.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's not.
Right. My bad. Go ahead.
No, finish.
No. But that's exactly what I said. And not saying you just said what I said 2 seconds ago, but that's what I said and what she said, right? Like love starts with you, and love should end with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love, yes, my dog. And okay, for the record, I don't love my dog at all. I promise
Rocco
you I
is
don't.
trying to let you know somebody at your house. Somebody
at my door.
Listen,
I'm not
somebody might be
understanding why
trying to
anybody
drop
get
some
my
dick
door.
off to the wrong house and look at you, ungrateful.
Well, I mean, shit. If they can pay a bill, like, fuck, pay a bill while you're here. The fuck.
Listen. On a technicality, your wife is a pure romance, so he probably is dropping off dick.
Yeah, rubber one. Like, you got to clarify that. Be real careful, right?
Silicone.
Rubber, so be careful what you say, right?
Silicone.
Like, somebody
I mean, it might be glass.
Oh,
I mean, I don't care.
You never know.
Like, are you telling yourself? What do you? Oh, okay.
No, I just said it.
I'm just like, I'm just. We're gonna move right along.
Moe's glass house. Hush your face.
Right.
That's too funny.
You might not want to see what's going on. Just
maybe we do.
And then one day it all made sense when she when the coffee wore off. All the pieces came together. I felt like the Minority Report. Like all of a sudden the pieces I was just switching them together. Moe's glass house. Now it makes sense.
Now we know about Moe's glass house. Gee, now we know what the real meaning behind the book titles is, right?
All because Rocco was barking at this.
Thank you, Rocco. Now we know.
Right, because silicone penises being dropped off to your household. Right.
I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. My fucking house is package central. But back to the topic at hand, I think me and you said the same thing, Karen. We definitely did about, first and foremost, and when true love still conquers all, and love starts and actually ends with you, right? So love can save you from you. People get in relationships and thinking that you need to be the fall guy, the scapegoat, the linchpin to keep everything together. No, you don't, right? It's going to come a point in time that, love still conquers all, and that love starts and ends with you. Be smart enough to be like, you know what? You and what you're giving me is not love. And since I can recognize that you're not feeding me, you're actually starving me, right? You're not giving me no sustenance at all. Every time I'm turning around, I'm upset. Every time I'm turning around, I'm questioning my own self. I'm questioning my judgment in dealing with you. Like, that's not love. And then once again, because love does conquer all, you got to be able to recognize what you are and are not getting.
But you have to know what love is for yourself first. So just like Karen said, in church, because I'm just like her, I grew up in, church all day, every day,
Bible
7 days a week.
Bible thumper, you.
We're good Baptists. We're not Bible thumpers. Bible thumpers are the Pentecostals on the technicality. We're
Jessica, you judging. You're a good Bible thumper, judging woman. Anyway, as you were saying, Mo.
But we saw what they thought marriage would look like. And so
no. We saw what they considered love to be.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Thank you for, I duly stand corrected. So we just don't know, because in the old generation, they took a lot of stuff. Because why? Women either didn't work, was at home taking care of the kids. The man was the breadwinner, and they just knew. My granny used to always say that our generation don't have no stick to itness, and I'm like, but why would I want to stick to somebody that's slapping the shit out of me? I don't understand. But that's what
thank God for deliverance. Thank God for deliverance.
That's what the husbands of yonder year was trying to do, trying to deliver the women to some common sense. That's just jokes.
They was delivering Ike. They was they had the spirit of Ike Turner, and Anime finally got picked.
See, we're not. But all men of that generation didn't subscribe to that, and that's I don't want that. Of course you can feel, because you're speaking from experience, right? And Karen, you're speaking from experience, but that wasn't the totality of black men in our grandparents and our great grandparents' day.
That is
not
true.
All black
that
men,
is absolutely
right?
True.
So that's
absolutely
right.
True.
So yeah. So don't get me wrong. Because my grandfather, at least on my mom's side, he was that type guy. So let me say that. So I'm not gonna paint that picture. I'm gonna keep it a buck all the way across the board, right? And what happens? Think about it, right? That's how women that's in my mother's line stay with the bullshit, because they seen their mother stay with the bullshit. Right. And then that trickles down. And so to your point, Mo, you have to be uber conscious of what you deem love to be, right? Women, I want y'all to really listen. And I know I'm hogging the mic because my co-host is leaving me and I feel a certain type of way.
I'm not going anywhere.
She leaving
I'm
me.
not leaving
as
you.
The knife keep getting pushed deep in my back and the blood is just gushing out right now.
This is not as the knife turns. This is not. I'm not leaving. It's not.
No, it's not.
I'm not
as
leaving
knife
you.
turns.
I'm not leaving you.
As Kern kills your committed ass. That's what this is called. I digress. I was stabbed in the dark, people, by Karen Reynolds. Anyway. I digress.
My government name?
And the whole government.
No, he called me by my whole government. No. If he calls me by my whole government name, I would have hit the button. I wouldn't end the show. I wouldn't do nothing. I would have been like,
don't threaten me.
Unpull the mic and be like,
not threaten me.
He would have to I would see him tomorrow on my doorstep.
So okay. I forgot my point. I ain't gonna try to pick it back up. So if love, taking it back to my co-host, right? If love conquers all, let me have some fun with this. Where did me and you go wrong at that you had to seek love outside of me and you?
Oh you really. That's how you want to take that?
That's how we take that. Where did me and
you don't want to talk about outside? Because you threatened my love, because you told me
love.
You told me you were done. You told me you were done. You were mad at me.
My tea.
No, right. You told me you were done with me. You were
no. You talking about as you sip your tea, you the one who brought the apple to Eve. You get done.
And now Mo is the serpent. Oh, Jesus. Help. Oh, Jesus.
God, Jesus.
Listen,
did nobody tell you to bite it? Did nobody tell you to eat the apple? Listen,
I didn't know. Wait. On a technicality, that's not true. That is not true. DK, you set a certain to drink certain emotions into action. There was no communication between us, and then on Friday you hit me back with the I'm sorry, like that. It didn't.
Okay. Since we're keeping a buck, right?
Then Tuesday, we gonna have a conversation about you should go outside. You need to build a brand. So technically, the serpent brought you the apple, and I bit the apple too.
Oh, okay.
So Adam and Eve both sinned that.
Because you greedy, your greedy ass. You thought it was apple pie. Look,
I sure did.
Right.
And I didn't like the crust. And I didn't like the crust. Listen, and I didn't like the crust.
With the sugar on top, the light coating the sugar.
I didn't like the crust. There wasn't enough cinnamon. It was too much damn nutmeg.
See, you need to eat from black people then. I don't know what type of pies you eat. But
too much nutmeg.
Look, can we get serious for a second, man?
Is it pumpkin or is it sweet potato?
Oh shit, sweet potato all day. You bring some pumpkin pie to my house, you need to fuck out my house. I bullshit you not. But nah, to touch back what you did, Karen, you knew why I was upset because when I asked the next time we do a powwow, you gave me what? You gave me a specific
window.
You not slow. No, you gave me a specific time, right? You didn't give me a window when there was so much going on. Because I'm the opposite of you. You work late into the morning. I start in the morning, work late into the day. And so when that time, if I don't have a specific time, I don't know when to catch you and vice versa. And so the second time I asked, you gave me a specific time. And then I said, I love you right after that. Did I not?
Yeah.
You don't even know why I said I love you. I love you because you gave me what I've been asking for. I don't do this. I'm available. Like we uber important. I'm available from 2 to 7. Like, who are you? Like, I got to catch you between 2 and 7.
But let's not say that there wasn't communication though in between that though.
It wasn't. You're a legend in your own mind. Yes, you are. Anyway, but then after we went through our rigmarole and we come back, and I asked, when can we? You like, I'm available at 7. I'm like, that perfect. I love you. And that's all I've been ever asking. But let's be specific because as much as I flip and flop for your schedule, right? You got, and people, the listeners probably like, what the fuck is they talking about? No, you got to listen all the way back at the beginning, right? That's an hour and 7 minutes ago to know exactly what we talking about. If you're a loyal listener, I promise you it'll make sense. And we won't get back into this love thing and put a bone and put this baby to bed. But once you gave me that specific time, I'm like, okay, that's the only thing I've been asking for because it allows me to know exactly what I can and can't do during that day and when I need to make myself available, right? Communication is the foundation through all thriving. You know what I mean?
Text me and I answered. I called and you did not answer because you were asleep. That was not my fault.
Well, 2 to 7, right? 2.
Right. And I texted at 4 something and I called at 5.
I was already gone by the time. I was tired. I've been up since 3 o'clock. Anyway, I'm gonna stop airing out my dirty.
That was a misunderstanding.
No. It was not. It was not. I'm gonna tell you.
We just missed each other in that day. That's all it was.
If you got a time frame between 2 to 7 and she called at 4 and texted at 4 and called at 5, that was in between her time frame.
But the point that you're missing is more. You can't get more simpler than adhering to a specific time. Right? If you do this window, like so much can go on, and it's not a big thing. It's just give me a specific time when you're good. That's all I'm asking.
Well, what if she didn't know the specific time? What if whatever she was doing at that
time after 7, I wouldn't be available?
I got you, right? I'm gonna help both of y'all so y'all won't have this problem.
Because I gave this is because you could tell somebody who had a bad experience with the cable people.
Or the gas people.
You can tell someone who had a bad experience with the cable people.
I've always had bootleg cable. Thank you very much. Look, I've never had nobody.
What about some deliveries?
That's the Southeast DC life right there.
Shitting me. Like what? I'm gonna pay $200 to watch the same channels? You lost your damn mind. No, let me get my man to hook me up and I'm gonna break him off and I'm good. Yeah, you watch what all you want to watch. But long story short, right? Like, to a degree, it was miscommunication. But when we had that same, you knew exactly what I needed and you gave me that. So you gotta put your hand up like, okay, I could have been real simple and did that in the beginning. It's no biggie, but moving forward, you just got to be specific in your time. And that allows a person like, okay, I know exactly what I need to be doing at that time.
Not a person, you, because the only person that this applies to is you.
Jesus, be quick, will you?
You need me to give you specifics at all times. That's all it comes down to. I can be very specific in my communication. Specific in my time. Huh?
He's not tall. People. I said all people.
I was like,
he's not tall. Jesus, I'm so happy you're going. Like,
whatever.
Leave me and take the life with you.
Anywhere.
Listen, DK is talking great shit right now.
See me on divorce court, goddammit. I want custody of...
singing of Rocco. That's all you're getting custody of is Rocco.
No. I'm giving him away for free.
He gonna be on the court. He gonna be on the curb today. He gonna be sold in the yard. It's gonna be a yard sale at DK's house today. Rocco is about the only thing going. Maybe MJ will have some treats to go with it. I don't know. But this is the thing. DK's right. DK is talking a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, yes, it was miscommunication. Yes, we bounce back. That's what happens in business partners. In business partners in life, all relationships, there's always going to be a miscommunication, or you don't get necessarily what you want, and there's a reaction, and then you have to, have it come to Jesus, fix it, and you move on. If the relationship is salvageable, obviously ours is salvageable. KK is not going anywhere from the Love Is podcast, but because DK does love his business partner and does want to see me grow and thrive and do better, he did give me the green light to go build my brand, to go do something else. So when I said to him, I said, hey, I have a concept for another podcast. He said, by all means, go and do so. What I think hit him from the left is that it's Mo. And now he's upset because he can't grab Mo for himself.
There's a guy blind. No. I didn't have no. I'm going by myself. I depend on me. I don't have to give me a window.
That's why you have the listen up. I have a story to tell.
Right. I'm going by my lonesome.
And you know what's funny?
I have guests on.
He's going to have JC on there. He's going to have Bird on there. He's going to have all these people on there.
Why you?
Oh, but did I get your roster on? I'm sorry.
Because they may listen and be expected to be on, don't never get no call. So gotta be careful with that. Yeah. Doing things a little bit different.
It's fine. As long, it's fine that he has his own separately. But if I move on with mine separately and it's Mo, now it's as the knife turns.
Yes, exactly. As
listen,
KK
final thoughts. Wrap this up.
Right. This is why we
got tissues for your issues.
The double standard.
There's not enough tissues.
And love needs all of the things that Karen read earlier, even in business relationships.
You're right about that shit. Stab me when I'm sleeping. Anyway.
Oh my God.
All jokes aside, and bring this back to the, just having fun, people, right? But bring this back to the meat and potatoes. I think, myself, our guest, which is family now, and my co-host will admit too that through it all, you got to love yourself first. Like, stop putting people, and this could be my Love Jones for today, right? So stop putting people before you. Like, that's the first thing in the business of love. Do not put nobody before you. We like it was never serious between me and my co-host. We go through this all the time. We fight like, kissing cousins. It is what it is, right? Me and Mo will start. No, real talk. Because me and Mo gonna start fighting like me and Mo gonna start fighting like kissing, because you want the best for the people that you love, right? And so sometimes in getting the best out of them, you can't spoon feed them sugar. You got to tell them what time it is.
It's gonna be the annoying big brother.
Right. But once again, once you get the results that you right, don't be shouting me out crying on the stage somewhere talking about DK, I love you once I get you the results. Don't do that, right?
I will always do that. I will always do that.
Always.
So it doesn't always. You have to give credit where credit is due, even in love.
That. Thank you. I appreciate that. But to my listeners out there, look, I wholeheartedly believe love conquers all, but that love starts and ends with yourself. Don't be a fool for love. Don't be a sucker for love, right? Be willing to fight for love, right? I went to premarital counseling eons ago, and this is the first time I've ever heard this, right? And since I have two Bible thumpers on the podcast with me, maybe they can, let me know this is true or not. But the guy that was conducting my wedding ceremony, let me know that a man's place in the marriage is to actually die for his wife. Like, I just met this chick. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna talk to God of that. Yeah, amend that shit once I get to heaven. But anyway, so I learned this, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, I barely know this chick died. She ain't even earned that yet, right? She hasn't even earned that, right? But I'm gonna give y'all a story. I don't want no browning points for this. I'm not sharing this with you, right? So my wife was dealing with trauma. She wasn't feeling well, right? And then a friend that I work with, he recently lost his wife, and he was going through it. He's still going through it. Like, he's like, I need to, ride through and check on him. I mean, need to be the next one because there's a group of us, right? And so as my wife was going through, I went to the bathroom and I said a prayer. I'm not, and once again, I promise you, I'm not saying this for I'm not. I'm just being honest, and I'm had to come a realization of something. Like, I learned when the guy told me that, a man's place is to die for his wife. And, anybody that's been listening to the podcast know that, early on in our relationship, me and my wife was not on the best of terms. Now we're in a really great space now. Don't get me wrong. Dealing with me is dealing with a lot. We still have our back and forth, but for the most part, we're to the good, right? So I got out of bed, ready to go to work that morning. She was laying there, getting herself together. And I was like, after learning of the passing of my coworker's wife, I told God, like, if you, I pray that my wife comes all the way back. But, if you're going to take somebody, let it be me. And it had nothing to do with what the guy said. It's just realize how important she is into my life. Like, because she would serve the kids better. She deserves, like, I've had a great run. And so I'm saying all that to say that, when you love somebody, no matter what you've been through, and I'm talking to my men folk right now, right? if you love that person enough, man, and that's asking a lot, but they have to be worth it. You don't want to just die for anybody. You don't want to die for a chick because she give great head. You don't want to die for a chick because she got great, like she has to meet all your needs on the days that's a typical day. She has to be there for you when nobody else is. She has to pick you up when there's nothing left of you to pick up, nothing but her love and kind words, right? But before all of that, still love yourself first. And in doing so, you'll be able to discern between the bullshit, or is that person worth dying for?
Mo, final thoughts?
No, I don't. I mean, DK said it all. When you know who you are in love, when you know who love is within yourself, then I think it will be able to. I think you can express it on a whole totally different way when you're in relationships with other people, especially in a marriage. But you have to know what love looks like for you, what it feels like, what it experiences. And sometimes you got to go through some shit in order to get there, but you have to be willing to always grow. And so, and it's just, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, love is not something that you should play with. I don't use that word loosely when I tell people that I love them, because it's not, I used to joke and say, well, I love you because God told me that I had to. But
whoa.
I mean, I did. I mean, it was just, and now granted, it was just a close. But it's true. I didn't like a lot of people. I loved them because I felt like I was obligated to love them, but I didn't like the people. And then I started to learn that, okay, love and like kind of go hand in hand. And so I got to like the people who I say that I love, whether they're right, wrong, indifferent, they on their bullshit, I'm on my bullshit. I still got to be willing to like them through it enough, in my opinion.
Thanks.
So that's what I got to say.
DK?
No, I'm good. I'm done. I'm licking my wounds and whatnot, looking to want ass if I can get me another job.
Oh my
God.
God.
On a podcast, so it's
It's your girls, that Thorny Chic, Karen, KK Rose, who is not leaving the Love Is podcast, nor am I leaving DK. I have this podcast. I have work to do on the Listen Up podcast in the background, and the new podcast with me and Mo coming up. So please do not be worried. I love you guys with all that I am. I am eternally grateful you guys have taken me and DK's voice always. That's why he needs to go by the always pads with wings. He couldn't even muster up tears if he wanted to. He can muster up the sound, but he can't muster up tears. The water will not fall from his eyes. But you guys have taken our voices places we thought our feet have yet to travel, places we have yet to be, and places we never thought we would be. Listen, you guys are the dopest listeners.
Get your life together.
Guilty feet got no rhythm. No, I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you.
Right.
You done? You done?
I'm not. What would you think?
A chair is still a chair.
Do at this moment,
a chair is
as
still
I stand before you. Not
the family tie song, not the Michael J. Fox breakup
moment. I would hurt you.
Oh my God.
Say that. To say I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. You.
Just don't
love me no more.
Right. Okay. Anywho, are you done?
You leaving me?
I'm not.
I call my mama.
Are you done? Or
somebody needs to call Nettie. Somebody. Is we done? Or is we finished?
Anyway, y'all. All jokes aside, man. No, I've had fun, y'all. Long story short, this has been a great, podcast. I do feel a certain type of way. I think I need to go have a real life cry. I'm in my feelings, but I'll be all right. Long story short,
hush
people
your
about
face. You were not.
Hush your face.
Do like
you no
Jasmine
longer belong to me.
Don't forget to pick up your feelings, okay?
I'm gonna leave them on the floor. Hope she slip on them. So with that being said and whatnot, long story short, people go enjoy your day. And people that's going through ups and downs as far as being in a relationship, whether it be business, friendship, love, family. the first order of business is to love yourself and then evaluate everybody else in your life. With that being said, you have a blessed day on purpose.
This is your girls, the Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside her co-host, who is not going anywhere, neither am I, the lovable asshole DK Walker. DK?
Yes.
Tell the people bye-bye.
I ain't telling the people shit.
Okay, Mo, tell the people bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Love you guys.
Peace.
This episode of the Love Is podcast has ended, but please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.